Open-world RPGs are more than just games. They're living worlds built for adventure, massive, unpredictable, and filled with stories waiting to be discovered. Some are so detailed they feel more alive than reality itself. So today, we're diving into the best open-world RPGs you can play right now. Breathtaking adventures where every choice, battle, and discovery becomes your own legend. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is often considered the pinnacle of open-world RPGs, and for good reason. It combines breathtaking visuals, a gripping story, and deep combat systems, all adding up to hundreds of hours of content. You step into the boots of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter searching for his adopted daughter, Ciri, who's being hunted by the mysterious Wild Hunt. The main quest is emotional and packed with difficult moral choices that shape the world around you. Every decision has weight and consequence. Combat is fluid and rewarding, blending strategy, magic, and swordplay seamlessly. Sure, some animations might feel dated by today's standards, but the storytelling more than makes up for it. The rich dialogue, unforgettable voice acting, and layered world building make The Witcher 3 one of the greatest RPGs ever made. A game that doesn't just tell a story, it lets you live in it. Red Dead Redemption 2. You can almost smell the dust and whiskey in this one. Red Dead Redemption 2 might just be the most realistic open world ever created, not because of how many polygons it has, but because of how alive it feels. You play as Arthur Morgan, an outlaw with a conscience torn between loyalty and survival. That tension seeps into every moment, from robbing trains to quietly sharing stories by the campfire. The attention to detail here is unreal. You can spend hours hunting, fishing, or just riding through the swamps at sunset, and it never feels like wasted time. Rockstar didn't rush this game. It trusts you to slow down, soak it in, and truly exist in the world. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't about ticking off objectives. It's about living through every small, beautiful, tragic moment. It's one of the few games that rewards patience with pure immersion. Elden Ring is a masterclass in open-world design, crafted by the creators of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. It's a challenging yet deeply rewarding RPG set in the hauntingly beautiful lands between, where you play as the Tarnished, a wanderer seeking purpose in a shattered world. Nothing compares to the sense of discovery this game offers. Every mountain, ruin, and hidden path feels handcrafted, waiting for you to stumble upon it. There's no hand-holding here. The game encourages curiosity and experimentation, letting you carve your own journey at your own pace. Combat is tough but fair, demanding precision and rewarding mastery. You can tailor your build through weapons, spells, and abilities, creating a combat style that's uniquely yours. The difficulty isn't there to punish you. It's what makes every victory satisfying. Elden Ring doesn't just give you a world to explore, it gives you one to unravel. It's dark, mysterious, and unforgettable. The kind of experience that stays with you long after you've put the controller down. Ghost of Tsushima doesn't waste your time. Every moment in its world feels meaningful. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai torn between honor and survival during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima. The island is breathtaking. Lush fields, burning villages, and quiet shrines all come together to form one of the most cinematic open worlds ever made. Combat flows like poetry in motion. It rewards patience and precision. One perfect parry can mean more than 10 wild swings. You'll master different stances, use stealth, and unleash deadly gadgets, all while feeling like a true warrior. But beyond the combat, this is a story about identity, about how far someone is willing to go to protect their home, even if it means breaking everything they once stood for. It's emotional, reflective, and deeply human. Years later, Tsushima's world still feels alive, a timeless masterpiece of art, sound, and storytelling. The Elder Scrolls V. Skyrim isn't just a game, it's a world that's been living rent-free in players' minds for over a decade. As the Dragonborn, you're tasked with stopping the return of an ancient dragon god. But the beauty of Skyrim is that it never forces you to follow the main quest. You can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, and become whoever you want to be. The scale and freedom here are unmatched. You can explore endless dungeons, join guilds, hunt dragons, or just spend hours blacksmithing and collecting cheese wheels. Because why not? Every mountain peak you see, you can climb. Every distant ruin has a story waiting inside. The customization is what keeps players coming back, shaping your skills, armor, and abilities however you please. And with mods, the possibilities are nearly infinite. Skyrim remains one of the most immersive and replayable RPGs ever made, a world that never stops calling you back. Kingdom Come: Deliverance. 2 is everything fans of the first game dreamed of, a brutally realistic RPG grounded entirely in medieval history. There's no magic, no dragons, no chosen one prophecy, just survival, politics, and hard-earned progress. You start as an ordinary man trying to make it in a harsh world where every skill must be learned, not gifted. You'll need to eat, sleep, train, and fight to grow stronger. There's no sudden level-up moment. Your progress feels earned, like real experience shaping who you become. NPCs notice your reputation, remember your actions, and respond accordingly. Be a jerk, and they'll treat you like one. Stay respectful, and doors will open. The game's immersion is unmatched, from its day and night cycles to its living, reactive towns. Every decision matters, but it's subtle. The game doesn't shout about your choices, it just lets the world shift naturally around them. If you love realism and consequence-driven storytelling, Deliverance 2 is one of the most authentic experiences you can have in gaming.
Fuck you! I'll hack your arm off!
Cyberpunk 2077 has evolved into one of the most immersive story-driven RPGs you can play today. Set in the neon-soaked chaos of Night City, you step into the boots of V, a mercenary trying to carve out a legacy in a world where power, greed, and technology intertwine. The game gives you complete freedom to craft your own playstyle, go in guns blazing, hack your enemies from the shadows, or manipulate people through dialogue and choices. Every decision you make leaves ripples across the world, shaping your journey and the fate of those around you. The side missions are some of the best in gaming, often rivaling the main story with their emotional depth and writing. And with characters like Johnny Silverhand, brought to life by Keanu Reeves, and Solomon Reed, played by Idris Elba, the performances hit hard. After its rough start, Cyberpunk 2077 has been rebuilt into a must-play masterpiece, a game that thrives on freedom, consequence, and raw atmosphere. If you love deep storytelling and player-driven worlds, there's nothing quite like it.
What's that for?
Dragon's Dogma 2 is an underdog in the open-world RPG scene, but it's one you absolutely shouldn't overlook. Set in a dark fantasy world filled with danger and mystery, you play as the Arisen, a chosen warrior destined to slay a world-shattering dragon. The game perfectly blends classic fantasy storytelling with modern, fast-paced combat. The open world feels alive and unpredictable. One of its standout features is the pawn system, where you recruit customizable AI companions that fight alongside you, adapting to your playstyle as you progress. Combat is visceral and dynamic, mixing fluid melee strikes with powerful spells and abilities. You can climb giant beasts, cast devastating magic, or strategize with your team to take down massive foes. Dragon's Dogma 2 doesn't just give you a fantasy world to explore, it makes you feel like you belong in it. Every victory, every choice, every scar feels earned. For fans of deep, reactive RPGs, this one delivers in every way. Death Stranding 2. On the Beach brings back Kojima's trademark blend of emotion, mystery, and sheer weirdness, but this time everything's dialed up to 11. You return as Sam Porter Bridges, venturing through post-apocalyptic Mexico and Australia, reconnecting humanity through the chiral network once again. The sequel refines everything that made the original so unique. Movement feels smoother, combat is tighter, and the strand systems, that strange mix of action, stealth, and connection, are more polished than ever. The visuals are jaw-dropping, pushing the PS5 to its limits with stunning landscapes and surreal weather effects. But as always with Kojima, it's the story that hits the hardest. Strange, poetic, and deeply emotional. You'll face new threats, encounter hauntingly beautiful characters, and traverse environments that feel both alien and familiar. It's bold, weird, and unforgettable, a perfect continuation of Kojima's vision. Death Stranding 2 doesn't just tell a story, it lets you feel it with every step. So grab your cargo, take a deep breath, and, as Sam would say, keep on keeping on. Horizon Forbidden West is one of those games where you don't fast travel. Not because you can't, but because riding through its breathtaking world just feels too good. From misty jungles to sun-soaked deserts and crumbling ruins, every corner of this post-apocalypse is packed with beauty and danger. You once again play as Aloy, humanity's red-haired savior, venturing deeper into the West to uncover new mysteries about the world's past and its machine-dominated present. The world is dense and vibrant, teeming with secrets, tribes, and robotic creatures that make every encounter feel unique. Combat remains incredibly satisfying, a mix of strategy, timing, and creativity. Figuring out how to dismantle a towering Thunderjaw using just your bow, traps, and quick thinking never gets old. And the side quests, they're not filler. They expand the lore and make every character feel real. Forbidden West isn't just visually stunning, it's immersive, emotional, and endlessly rewarding to explore. Every sunrise feels like an invitation to adventure. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the most perfectly designed open-world games ever made. It redefined what exploration means, giving players total freedom to climb, glide, cook, fight, and discover at their own pace. You play as Link, awakening from a 100-year slumber to a ruined Hyrule, and it's entirely up to you how you bring hope back to the kingdom. The beauty of this world lies in its simplicity. No quest markers pulling you in every direction, no strict paths to follow. You see a mountain? You can climb it. Spot a strange glow in the distance? Go check it out. Every discovery feels earned because you found it, not because the game told you to. Combat is fluid and creative. You can use the environment, weapons, and even physics to outsmart your enemies. From puzzle shrines to massive bosses, every challenge encourages experimentation and imagination. Breath of the Wild isn't just an open-world RPG, it's a sandbox for wonder, a place where adventure feels alive in every gust of wind. Fallout 4 might not have the same cult status as New Vegas, but it delivers one thing better than almost anyone else: a world that's just fun to exist in. Set in post-apocalyptic Boston, you play as a parent searching for their missing child, but like any great Fallout game, that main quest quickly becomes just one of 1,000 stories waiting to be found. The Commonwealth is chaotic, colorful, and filled with life, or at least whatever's left of it. The sense of discovery never fades. Then there's base building, a system that somehow eats up entire evenings as you scrap junk, wire generators, and design your own settlements. It's addictive, creative, and gives you a reason to keep exploring every corner for materials. Fallout 4's strength lies in those spontaneous moments, the small, human stories scattered across the wasteland. It's not perfect, but it's pure Bethesda magic at its best.
What was that?
NIER Automata isn't your typical open-world RPG. It's something far deeper. You play as androids 2B and 9S, warriors sent to reclaim a ruined Earth long after humanity's extinction. What follows is a haunting, philosophical journey that questions what it means to be alive. The world itself feels empty, yet alive in its own strange way. Desolate cities reclaimed by nature, deserts hiding forgotten ruins, and an abandoned amusement park filled with robots trying to understand happiness. Every location carries emotional weight, telling its own quiet story without saying a word. Combat is fast, stylish, and incredibly fluid, blending Platinum Games' signature action with a layer of existential melancholy. But what truly makes NIER Automata unforgettable is how its world and story intertwine. Hidden messages, secret endings, and shifting perspectives make you rethink everything you thought you knew. NIER Automata doesn't just want you to play, it wants you to feel. It's weird, beautiful, and deeply human in ways most games wouldn't even dare to try.
Records don't say anything about a machine like this.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chernobyl drops you straight into one of the most haunting worlds ever created, the Zone. A radioactive wasteland surrounding the ruins of the Chernobyl power plant, it's a place where nature, science, and nightmares all collide. You play as a lone stalker, scavenging for valuable artifacts, fighting off mutants, and surviving anomalies that defy logic and physics. Every moment in the Zone feels tense. The eerie silence, the distant rumble of a storm, the flicker of your detector, it all builds an atmosphere that keeps you constantly on edge. Survival isn't about brute force here, it's about preparation, awareness, and quick thinking. The world itself is dynamic and unforgiving. Weather shifts, enemies roam freely, and choices you make can have deadly consequences. One wrong turn and you're gone. What makes S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 stand out is its mood, a perfect mix of isolation, horror, and discovery. It's not just a game about surviving radiation and monsters, it's about surviving yourself in a place that wants you gone.
Gotta search everywhere.
Blow him to hell! Throw a fucking frag!
Don't worry.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora captures the heart of James Cameron's films in a way few adaptations ever do. You play as a Na'vi exploring the western frontier, a completely new region of Pandora brimming with bioluminescent forests, alien wildlife, and danger at every turn. The world is jaw-droppingly beautiful, towering trees, glowing rivers, and vast skies that make every flight on your Ikran feel cinematic. But it's not just about looks. The game focuses heavily on exploration, survival, and reclaiming your heritage as you fight back against the RDA's industrial takeover. Gameplay mixes stealth, crafting, and fast-paced combat. You'll learn to use Pandora's environment to your advantage, whether that means ambushing enemies from the treetops or taming wild creatures to aid in battle. It's immersive in every sense. You don't just see Pandora, you live in it. Frontiers of Pandora doesn't reinvent the genre, but it nails the feeling of freedom, beauty, and discovery. It's a vibrant, emotional journey through one of the most stunning worlds ever put to screen. Mount and Blade, RPG that doesn't hand you a story. It lets you create one. You start with nothing, just a handful of scrappy soldiers, a rusty sword, and a dream of carving your name into history. There are no chosen ones here, no divine prophecies, just survival, ambition, and chaos in a brutal medieval world. Over time, you can rise through the ranks of a kingdom, win glory in massive battles, or even forge your own empire from scratch. The freedom is staggering. You can trade, conquer, negotiate, marry into power, or just roam the land as a mercenary for hire. The depth of its systems is is unmatched. Part strategy, part RPG, and part medieval life simulator. You can command armies in large-scale sieges, manage your fiefs and economy, and influence nobles through politics and diplomacy. Every decision, every alliance, betrayal, or battle shapes your legacy. In Bannerlord, you don't just play history. You write it, one bloody victory at a time. The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion Remastered marks the glorious return of one of Bethesda's most beloved classics. Only this time, it finally looks the way your nostalgia remembers it. Gone are the melted wax faces and muddy lighting. In their place are crisp textures, realistic shadows, and forests that actually sway in the wind. The charm of Oblivion has always been in its slightly awkward magic, the janky combat, the oddly timed dialogue, and the unpredictable chaos that somehow feels perfect together. You'll still be shouting at cultists, stealing from nobles, and diving into dungeons that somehow lead to more trouble than treasure. But now, everything feels smoother, more alive. The world is brighter, the reflections sharper, and the nostalgia hits harder than ever. It's still that same wonderfully weird adventure, only this time it no longer fights you every time you load a save. Oblivion Remastered is proof that even after all these years, chaos, charm, and curiosity never go out of style. Starfield is Bethesda's ambitious leap into space, an enormous sci-fi RPG that lets you explore over 1,000 planets scattered across the galaxy. You'll build ships, establish outposts, and shape your story among the stars. It's massive in scope, almost overwhelming at first, but once you settle in, it becomes a playground for discovery. You play as a member of Constellation, a group of explorers searching for answers to humanity's biggest questions. The story doesn't quite hit the emotional highs of Bethesda's earlier work, but it lays a solid foundation for future adventures. What stands out most is the freedom. Build your dream ship, tweak every component, or design a base on a distant moon and call it home. Character interactions and companion relationships add depth to the experience. You'll find moments of genuine warmth and humor among all the star maps and ship engines. Starfield might not reinvent the RPG genre, but it nails what Bethesda does best: scale, freedom, and immersion. If you want a galaxy that's yours to explore, customize, and conquer, this is your next great journey. Dying Light 2. Stay Human turns a crumbling, zombie-infested city into one of the most thrilling open worlds you can play in. It's a brutal playground built for parkour. Every rooftop, ledge, and crumbling skyscraper is part of your escape route. You play as Aiden Caldwell, a survivor searching for his sister while navigating the fractured politics of Vildor. The traversal is the star of the show, fluid, fast, and endlessly satisfying. You'll leap across rooftops, swing from cables, and vault through windows like it's second nature. Then the sun goes down and everything changes. Nighttime in Dying Light 2 isn't just a visual shift, it's pure survival horror. Stronger infected come out, safe zones shrink, and every move you make matters. Combat blends melee brutality with creative tools, from modded weapons to explosive traps. It's chaotic in the best way, and while the story has its rough edges, the characters and moral choices keep things engaging. It's not flawless, but it's fast, intense, and exhilarating. An open-world RPG that rewards risk-takers and adrenaline junkies alike.
family for the last time!
That's where you're...
Assassin's Creed Odyssey takes you on an unforgettable journey through ancient Greece, a world bursting with myths, politics, and gods that feel almost real. You play as either Alexios or Cassandra, a mercenary with Spartan blood, navigating a massive open world filled with islands, battles, and secrets waiting beyond every horizon. The freedom here is incredible. You can tackle missions however you want, charge in sword first, assassinate from the shadows, or charm your way through conversations. Every choice you make shapes your path, from who you side with in the Peloponnesian War to the romances and rivalries you build along the way. Combat feels powerful and flexible, with abilities that make every encounter dynamic and rewarding. And let's not forget naval warfare. Commanding your ship, upgrading it, and engaging in massive sea battles is still one of the coolest parts of the game. Odyssey doesn't just recreate ancient Greece, it lets you live in it. From exploring sun-soaked islands to climbing Mount Olympus itself, this is one of the most expansive and vibrant worlds Ubisoft has ever crafted. Final Fantasy XV is more than just an RPG. It's a road trip about brotherhood, loss, and finding your place in a world that's falling apart. You play as Prince Noctis, journeying across a vast and breathtaking land with your 3 closest friends. What begins as a quest to reclaim your throne slowly turns into something far more emotional and personal. The open world is massive and alive, filled with dangerous beasts, hidden treasures, and stunning landscapes that constantly invite exploration. Combat is fast and flashy, blending real-time action with strategic depth. You can warp across the battlefield, summon gods, and chain attacks with your party in spectacular fashion. At its heart, though, Final Fantasy XV is about friendship and growing up. It's heartfelt, beautifully scored, and packed with moments that stay with you long after the credits roll. Few games mix epic fantasy and raw emotion quite like this one.
So you are the chosen king, but you are a second choice at best.
And that wraps up our journey through gaming's greatest open worlds, places that feel more like second homes than pixels. Tell me which of these worlds you've spent the most time in down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep exploring and keep adventuring.